a season ago. She had 9 kills and 9 digs. We are underway from Clemson. Best of 5 victorious, must win each set by 2, and a great start for the Tigers.
And that's what we're going to see from the Tigers, or that's what we're looking to see, and they're hoping to deliver, is that consistent. You saw that great pass from Mia McGrath, beautiful set from Sant, and the outside hitter was able to put it away. Wagner.
Here's the first swing of the night for Hinke, and that results in a kill.
And you can see Hinke's height, coming in again at 6'4". She just reaches high and uses the block to get a kill.
Coming off a 15-kill outing on the road at Georgia Southern in the last game for Florida State. Yamamoto with a serve. Tough pass to Wagner, plays it across. Another opportunity for Hinke, rolls shots. Raines is there defensively from the back row. Florida State on the move. There's an opportunity for Wagner on the outside. Lands out of bounds. It's her second kill early in this first set. Keys to the game, what do you think will be important tonight for both squads?
So the Florida State Seminoles are looking for that aggressive serving. They want to keep Clemson out of system while also maintaining their own in-system play, which means a great pass. There's an example of it. And perfect kill off the block. The Clemson Tigers, their keys to success, they're looking for what is called honor the game. So Coach Keir says the game doesn't know who is supposed to win, records, rankings, or logos. Coach Keir says the Clemson Tigers show up and honor the game by playing Clemson volleyball every single match.
Nellie Stevenson serving, coming off a double-double in the last match for Florida State. Wagner again pushes it across, long pass over to Hinke. First swing down the line, that's off the mark. That was a good look for Moore, couldn't cash in.
And we're already seeing very good rallies from both teams. This is what we were expecting, evenly matched play from both sides.
Stevenson's a Montana State transfer, 61 matches there. Wagner with a full hit of steam, rips it. 3 kills already.
Kennedy Wagner's had a lot of growth in her Clemson journey already. She's a junior, she's at 6 feet tall. She just loves to soar. She's such a high, has such a high vertical, such a good jumper, and she can hit anywhere on the court.
Luma enters to serve, the sophomore out of Wisconsin. From the back row, that was the first swing for Feely Maua. Back to Hinke with a running starts, another kill for the senior from Germany.
So one of the keys to success that Coach Poole's focusing on for the Seminoles is that in-system play, and there's a perfect example where the setter has all of her options from that great pass.
What makes being in system so critical?
It really makes it difficult for the block on the opposing team. If you're out of system, the block has a pretty good guess that it's going to one of the pins. But when you're in system, you can run your full offense, which means the middle blockers involved, the back row hitters involved. You really have 4 offensive players at all times.
That was the first serving error tonight on either team, and now we got 2 in a row.
Probably a little conference, first conference match of the year, a little nerves.
What do you think makes a good server?
A good server is someone who, no matter what the score is, goes back there, has a routine, and goes aggressively for a certain zone. So every server is always focused on where they want it to go.
That was a nice shot by Hansen, the junior out of Weatherford, Texas.
Hansen, middle blocker for the Clemson Tigers. She has grown a lot in her career as well. She's now a junior, 6'3", certainly a leader for the Tigers.
Long pass on the outside. Feely Maua, beautiful dig for Clemson. Here's a rip for McGrath. Got it.
So that was a touch off the block, which results in a point for the Tigers. It all started, though, with that excellent dig from Gilden, though.
She leads Clemson in digs this season. Feely Maua. Free ball for Florida State. Who do the Seminoles want to go to? They go in the middle. Jumped across. Skilled in there again defensively. What a shot by McGrath. That's 2 kills in a row for her.
And that was a fun play for the Clemson Tigers. Those are the 3 players we talked about in the beginning of the game. So you had Gilden there with the incredible dig from the setter. Sance ready to set it up. Again, that's an in-system play, and Mack delivers.
Yeah, Coach Keir told us she is the heart and soul of this Clemson team. Nice response. There's Capilla, the freshman from Texas.
One of the many freshmen for the Florida State Seminoles. That was a beautiful in-system play. Capilla was up with a one-on-one opportunity, and she got the kill.
Nicholson enters the servant, the junior out of McKinney, Texas. TCU transfer. Her sister played volleyball at Oklahoma. Tricky play at the nets. It was Mason that tapped it over. Here's McGrath, angles it towards the corner. Florida State on the move. Feely Maua crushes it for the kill.
I'm actually impressed with everything that happened in that play, but I will say the back set from the defensive player of the Seminoles in that. Watch this set here from the libero. Yep, amazing. So she took an out-of-system play and made it in-system with that set.
Tough play. It was tapped across.
Net call on the Seminoles.
A critical point there for Clemson. The Tigers back in front 8-7.
And just as we suspected, a very close match so far.
Yeah, we knew it would be a good one. Florida State has won 3 in a row. Clemson has won their first 12. Feely Maua unloads another kill for Feely Maua. That's her second.
And she's, again, one of the leaders for the Seminoles. I believe she played libero in a past year, so she's coming in as an outside hitter this year for the Seminoles.
Yeah, think about that. That is not an easy move to make, and she's been able to handle it pretty easily. Heads up play by Hansen. Nobody on that back line for Florida State.
And there, again, is just the experience you're going to see from Hansen coming in as a junior now, just to kind of slow it down, see the open spot in the court, and just place the ball there.
Coach Keir told us her offense has elevated a huge level this season. Hinke with another rip. Saying it's on the outside to Wagner. Not that time.
So that's a really exciting block by the Seminoles. Also, this shows you Wagner's hang time, because that ball hit the ground before Wagner even landed. So excellent block by the Seminoles, doing their job.
First block of the night for either team. Yamamoto is serving, the Louisiana transfer. She was the Sun Belt Libero of the Year.
She's also one of their international players coming out of Japan.
Yeah, that ball absolutely hammered by the sophomore Ewing.
That's exactly what Coach Poole is looking for. That was a beautiful in-system play where there was a one-on-one opportunity with the middle blocker for the Seminoles, and it's hard to stop that.
Jumps, nice dig on the back row. That was Nicholson with a dig. Hinke.
Both setters are testing the defense on the opposing side.
It was a pancake dig by Yamamoto, but Florida State can't regroup. Point Clemson.
Here is the offensive player of the ACC last week, Catherine Sant, the setter for the Clemson Tigers.
One of the captains, one of 3 on the roster for Clemson. Feely Maua, rather, this is actually Mason, the southpaw, with a kill on the outside. How much of a different look is it when you have a left-handed hitter on the outside like that?
I was just focusing on that as well. It is different because the block has to line up differently, and that's why lefties make such effective right side hitters, because the entire court is open to them. So it's really beneficial to have a left-handed hitter on your right side.
Hinkie with a defensive play there. Here's Wagner. We got a whistle and a point is awarded to Florida State. It was hit 4 times by Clemson.
Again, just such evenly matched volleyball. This is exactly what we were hoping to see from the ACC season opener.
Wagner, a running start. Maua digs it out. Hinkie.
Another awesome dig by Gilden.
What a shot, only outside. Moore, also a lefty, gets it done on the outside.
Yeah, another lefty showing us what it's like to have the whole court open. Now, right-handed players certainly can play on the right side, and there's plenty of excellent right-handed, right-side players in the country. But those lefties are fun to watch, and they do a great job.
Free ball, Clemson. Couldn't take advantage of it, though. Hinkie. She says it lands in bounds, and it does. Another kill for Hinkie.
Yeah, I think, and Coach Keir's probably debating using a challenge on this one.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, so it looks like it was called out of bounds, so the Seminoles got the point using the block.
Yamamoto with a beautiful dig from the back row. Hinkie taps it into the net.
That was just a little bit of a timing issue. I think that's what Coach Poole is talking about when he says it's a young team, the handful of transfers, you know, they're still working on some timing issues.
Yeah, still trying to find their identity as the season goes on. This is the first of 20 conference games. Boy, Ewing with an excellent play in the middle.
So right now, the Seminoles are beating the Clemson Tigers when it comes to that middle attack. And again, it starts with that excellent pass, excellent dig, but those one-on-one opportunities for the middle, the Clemson Tigers are gonna have to figure out how to get 2 blocks on that.
Capilla back on the floor for Florida State. That was Hansen with a swing. Hinkie flips it across. Clemson on the attack. Moore off the top of the block and down. Another kill for Moore.
Moore is doing exactly what the Tigers need of her right now. Her job is to get those kills.
She's up to 2 for the senior out of Frisco, Texas. Coming off an 11-kill performance in the win against Charleston Southern. Here's Whalen, her first opportunity tonight. The freshman cashes in, and this will take us to the media timeout. Florida State with a 2-point lead on the road in Clemson.
Having to navigate.
2-point lead for Florida State, and now Clemson with an answer coming out of that timeout. That's McGrath.
And that's such an awesome example of Mac, again, kind of doing it all for the Clemson Tigers. On that hit, she was hitting from the right side. There's an example of a right-handed hitter hitting from the right side, tooling the block, getting the kill.
Too much on it. That is the second serving error tonight on Clemson.
2 errors is not too bad as long as you can balance it out with some aces. So you do want your teams to be aggressive.
Is there a number that you can live with serving error-wise?
Yeah, absolutely. If your aces are more than or equal to, you're okay.
You can live with it.
Yeah. There's certain times in the game when you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss after timeout because that means the other coach has kind of won the mental game in that moment. And you don't want to miss on game point either, especially not match point.
Well, Coach Poole wasting no time. Hansen is serving. Who does Florida State want to go to? Hinkie, who else? 2-point lead for the Seminoles.
Yeah, Hinkie is delivering again. Then that hit, she hit actually from the left side. I know we have her listed as a middle blocker, but it seems like she's really thriving at the pins right now.
Yamamoto serving. Sance looking for Okur, who's in for the first time. Down the line, was it touched at the net? It was not. So this is the largest lead tonight for Florida State.
Yeah, this is certainly the crucial point in the match. This is why Coach Keir is taking a break right now. You don't want either team to.
Largest lead in this opening set for Florida State. Sands, that was a tricky pass to Wagner, and Wagner delivers. What a start for her, 4 kills.
What a creative play by the Clemson Tigers to run Wagner, who normally hits from the left side. She almost ran like a slide behind the setter to hit from the right side. That was very creative and threw the Seminoles, you know, off their game.
Haven't seen a lot of slide attacks so far tonight. Nice dig on the back row. It's a free ball for Florida State. From the back row, Feely Mallow pushes it over. Wagner calling for it. She's got it. Will they give it to her again? Sants goes to the other side. Here's Moore. Nicholson to Henke. Dug out by McGrath. Moore. Still going here. That was Mason that kept it alive, and Florida State wins the point. That was the longest rally tonight.
That was a really exciting rally. Some incredible digs to keep the ball alive, and just ended with a touch, you know, block. No one made an error, just great volleyball.
Peyton Whaling back in for Florida State, the freshman out of Arizona. Sants in the middle to Okur. Henke cuts it loose. Here's Moore. Off the side of the block and down. She went right at Henke and wins that matchup.
It's a little bit of battle of the right sides tonight. So Moore there, she's coming in with her 3rd kill. She's hitting .125, so that's not a huge hitting percentage, but again, she's getting the kills when the Tigers need her to get the kills.
Henke, a lot of opportunities for her. She says it was touched at the nets. It wasn't. Point Clemson. And now Coach Poole for Florida State wants a timeout. For the most part, the replays are done in a timely manner. You don't have to wait around for 10 minutes or anything like that.
Right.
Boy, what a response by Ewing coming out of the timeout.
So again, there's another one-on-one opportunity by the Florida State Seminoles. Again, excellent pass, beautiful delivery by the setter, and the middle blocker puts it down.
Henke serving, most aces on the roster for the Seminoles.
Nice dig, and the ball is still alive.
That was Feely Mallow with a dig. Here's Moore. Off of Whaling, another kill for Moore.
That's another example of Mia Moore going up big, left-handed from the right side for the Tigers, delivering when the Tigers need her most.
Her 4th kill, tied for the team high.
Good
Well,
serve.
we have an ace. Yamamoto keeps it alive. Boy,
Wow.
she just flew out of nowhere. Moore looking for the tie. Will they go back to her again? Other side to McGrath. Yamamoto digs it out. And then Feely Mallow says enough of this. 2-point lead for Florida State.
I know volleyball is a team sport, but we can certainly give this point to Yamamoto. I mean, she saved this ball by diving into her own bench, and then she has another dig later in the rally. So we'll give that point to her. Probably having a lot of bonding opportunities as well.
Off the top of the tape, Clemson keeps it alive. A lot of swings for Moore, but Florida State wins that matchup, and this ties their largest lead in set 1.
And you can actually give credit to the serve, number 24 there. She had an excellent serve where the setter for the Clemson Tigers actually had to pass the first ball, which just means they were out of system from the rest of the play.
It's Ewing, one of the transfers that we just touched on. McGrath plays it over. Whalen on the outside. Luma digs it out. McGrath with a roll shot. Whaling off the side of the block and down, deflected off of Hansen. Now this is the biggest lead tonight for Florida State.
And the Clemson block right now, they're just not quite perfectly sealing. So their feet aren't set when they're going up to block, and the Seminoles are able to tool them and get an easy kill.
Coach Poole wants to make a substitution. He is bringing in the sophomore Kaylin Russ out of Winter Garden, Florida. Sands with a long pass to McGrath, and the defense wins the matchup. There's Capilla. Set point, Florida State.
And it is really fun when you see a team just having a blast, right? I mean, that's such an awesome feeling to get a block like that against such a good player. Her hands were well over the net. She sealed the net, and she came down and celebrated as she should.
That was a tough serve. Sands to McGrath. Down the line, nobody there. That's a big point for Clemson. That snaps a 4-0 Florida State run.
And we talked about Mia McGrath being a leader for the Clemson Tigers. Here's an example of that. That's just her using her smarts. She just got blocked big, so this time she goes up high over the block to the open spot on the court.
Raines with a beautiful serve. Here's Feely Mowell looking for the win.
What
Dugout.
a dig.
Free ball for Florida State. Feely Mowell for set one. Right back to her. Other side to Whaling. Boy, the defense flying everywhere for Clemson. Feely Mowell says, all right, set one belongs to Florida State. They close it on a 5-1 run down the stretch. Seminoles take it 25-20.
Important because now the seniors and the juniors on the team are the leaders, and they're helping to guide the younger players on the team.
McGrath serving underway in set two. From the back row, Feely Mowell delivers.
That was a beautiful set, beautiful hit out of the backcourt. Again, she used to be the defensive player for the Seminoles, so now she's really showing her offensive side.
Yeah, again, that switch, that is easier said than done, going from libero to the outside. Yamamoto with the serve. Sands, that's a tough pass to Hanson. Florida State on the move, Hinke. Hinke picks up right where she left off. Game high 6 kills.
And Hinke, she's swinging from the left side this match and really getting some success out there.
Great story from Germany, came to America, did not speak a lick of English, had to go the Division II route, and has found a home in Tallahassee.
And I think she's a player who's played it all. She's played the right side, she's played middle, and then tonight she's playing on the left side.
Seminoles off to a fantastic start in this second set, up 3-0. The biggest lead for either team tonight, it's been 4. Wagner, that's who Clemson wants to get involved in set 2.
Yeah, Wagner's such a creative player. We've seen that a few times from her tonight. She certainly loves to go down the line. That's probably her most natural shot, but she can hit everywhere in the court.
Evans Mason with a swing. Now the other side to Hinke. Hanson with a dig. Wagner. Hinke. Pinballed right back to her. Hinke again. Drops it in perfectly.
And we mentioned the stats before the start of this set. What we focus on was that the Seminoles have more blocks. You can see the Clemson Tigers are actually getting the blocks, but the ball's not falling on the floor because the Seminoles are doing such a great job covering the block. And there's the replay from the hit from the Seminoles that was in bounds.
What a no-look jump by Sand. Florida State was ready for it. That's Whalen trying to slice it through the defense, and she misses. Mia Moore back in the game for the Tigers. This is Sand serving, the sophomore from Illinois. Hinke punches that one into the net. A rare misfire from her.
Yeah, that's only her second error of the night on 19 attempts.
Florida State in scramble mode. Free ball, Clemson. Who did the Tigers want to target? They go to Moore, and Florida State with a huge block. Hinke that time defensively.
I wonder what you call that in German. In English, we sure call that wow. That is just amazing. Look at how far over the net her hands are. She guides the ball back to the floor. It doesn't get any better than that, folks.
In the middle, Clemson with a nice response and answer. There's Okur.
So for Okur, that's her first kill of the night, I believe. So I know the Tigers' second kill of the night, excuse me. They are looking to get her more involved, but that means they need that good pass, that good dig to have those in-system plays.
She's a Michigan State transfer, and Coach Kier told us she cannot believe when she hit the portal. She said her eyes got really big and said, wow, I got to get her on campus. And it's paid off dividends for Clemson. Whalen taps it over.
Wow.
Moore digs it out. Now Clemson in scramble mode. Can't get it over in 3 hits. Point Florida State.
Pretty incredible up by Moore on that play, but right, the Clemson Tigers just couldn't keep control of the ball to get it back over the net. You only have 3 hits to get it over.
In the middle, that was Okur again. Feely Mawa crushes it.
And what I'm seeing from the Seminoles, which is exactly one of their keys that they're focusing on, is just every opportunity for them to be in system, they are getting a kill.
Feely Mawa so efficient. 12 swings, 6 kills. Long pass to McGrath off of Yamamoto. My goodness, what a shot.
Big kill by the captain, Mia McGrath. They call her Mac. You can see the hang time here. Goes in, goes deep, cross court. Really difficult to defend.
Short serve, they targeted Russ. Free ball, Florida State. They were in the middle, Capilla. Moore couldn't get it over the block, Clemson. Back to Moore. In the corner, it's close. Oh, it's in. What a shot.
The Seminoles thought it was out of bounds. We'll see if there's a replay call. Yeah, or excuse me, a challenge, which I think they are. Yep.
Yeah. So the first challenge tonight, it literally happened right in the corner in front of the Florida State bench.
And it was one of those plays that was completely like out of system. So I think, I don't even think there was a block up, and Mia Moore just had a deep hit.
Florida State is challenging that the ball was out.
And again, Coach Poole, you cannot have a better view than the one that he and his staff had.
And we'll look at it on camera again. See what we decide. Again, you see no blocker up. So this would be a brilliant shot if this is in bounds. It is finding those last few inches of the court. Hard to tell from.
It is.
But the line judge is also right there, and you can see she's bending down, watching the ball. She's watching to see if there's any of that white, you know, in between the ball and the out of bounds, that white line. If the Seminoles win this challenge, they actually get to keep their challenge card, so it doesn't count against them. If they lose it, then they lose one of their challenges, and it will be a point for the Tigers.
And they would have one challenge the rest of the way.
Correct. Unless we can go to a 5th set, which would be fun. So we're playing best of 5. First 4 sets are whoever gets to 25, you must win by 2, and you can go over 25.
Clemson has gone 5 sets on 3 occasions, 3-0 in those matches. Florida State has gone 5 sets twice. They've dropped on the road at South Florida and then at Oklahoma as a part of the ACC SEC Challenge. Inaugural season for that. ACC actually came out on top of that. That was a really fun event this season, a couple weeks ago.
Yes, absolutely. It's Coach Kier and I have had some discussions on, you know, the best volleyball conference in America right now, and she's convincing me that it's the ACC. I was a Big Ten player, so, you know, I debate, but I can see where she's coming from.
Well, the good news is when you look around the country, you start to see high-level volleyball being played everywhere.
Yeah, I've said this from coming back now as a color commentator for the ACC network and watching the volleyball. The level is so quick. It is just so advanced for the plays that they're making.
After review, the call will be reversed. Florida State will get the point and retain their challenge.
So a great challenge for Chris Poole. Again, it happened literally right in front of him. And as you alluded to, they get that challenge back. So they got 2 the rest of the way.
Yeah, that was a brilliant use of the challenge. Again, it was difficult to tell from up here, but they had a great view of it and won a really crucial point. This could matter significantly as the set goes on.
And one thing to make note of, so what the officials are looking at, different camera angles, higher frame rate, all that stuff. So they have better camera, or different camera angles, I should say, than what we showed a moment ago. That's why that review took a little bit longer as well. So coming out of the review, Nicholson sends it into the nets. Second serving error on the Seminoles.
Yeah, that's one of those errors you don't really want to make. And you could tell she was a little bit upset with herself for that error.
Here's Addie Raines, a sophomore from Yorktown, Indiana. She got 12 aces this season. Bailey Mala dug out by Gildon. It will be played over by Clemson. Florida State's in attack mode, and they execute it perfectly. Capilla.
So that was a free ball, is the term when it's just passed over from one team to the other. So that allows the Seminoles to play a really fast in-system offense.
How important is it just to cash in on those free ball opportunities?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of practice that goes in just to those. There's all kinds of plays you run, because it's almost a guaranteed point. If you don't win a free ball,
deflating.
Yeah, you've actually missed an opportunity.
So you want to serve on the road in the ACC environment. Check out the student section right now.
I know, I've been watching them too. The Clemson Tigers students are having a blast tonight.
Now is the one serving. There's a slide attack. Haven't seen a lot of that. Batted around.
And that's just amazing the Seminoles kept that ball alive.
So that's 2 plays in a row. Run for Hansen, and she delivers second time around.
And good for her. You know, the first ball really should have been a kill, but the Seminoles miraculously kept it going. And so the ball was sent back to Hansen, who got a kill on the second attempt. Very quick offense there.
Wagner says it was touched at the nets, and it was. Point Clemson.
All right, so now Coach Poole is on his feet, asking his team, was there a touch? They said yes, there was. So no challenge going to be on that play.
Hinkie again just whacks it down. It's a 2-point lead for Florida State.
So I don't know what Coach Poole was talking about, because I don't see any youth coming out in his team right now. That play right there was so advanced. The pass was quick, the set was quick, and the hitter was in the air ready to smash it down. That's so hard to defend. Nice up.
That's Mason. Drops it in the corner. 3-point lead, Florida State.
Another left kill by the lefty.
And Clemson takes a timeout. So with a timeout call on the floor, we'll take on as well. Florida. A lot of opportunities for Hansen here in set 2. Here's the other side to Wagner. Dug out by Nicholson. Free ball for Clemson. Look at the Tigers on the target. Back to Hansen on the slide attack. And defensively for Florida State, they've been able to handle that, at least for the moment.
And it all starts with their block. They're getting a lot of controlled touches on their block, which allows their defenders to, dig up either the touch or around the block.
Seminoles have 5 blocks tonight. They are on a 3-0 run. This ties their largest lead tonight at any points. Wagner, that's long. So now this represents the biggest lead tonight for Florida State.
So the Tigers right now, they're really looking to get their game back in system, and the Seminoles are making it difficult for them by all the blocks that they're putting up.
Defense continues to make plays for Florida State.
There's an example of a block. Sant, the setter for the Tigers, being creative, trying to help her hitters out, get a kill. But the Florida State Seminoles were all over it.
Five-0 run for the Seminoles. McGrath from the back row. Yamamoto sets up Mason. Hansen loops it across. From the back row, Mawa, Gildon got her fingertips on it. Clemson has to get it over. Wagner does. Mason again. Clemson regroups. Wagner down the line, got it.
That's a great point by the Clemson Tigers. That's what they're going to look to go to more as the match continues. If they want to get back in this match, they lost the first set. Perfect kill by Wagner.
Her team leading 7th tonight. It was a tricky pass. And almost a pancake dig. Reigns is saying, I got it, but it's a point to Florida State.
We can see here Reigns going for the ball. Does she get her fingertips underneath it? The up ref says no.
How many pancake digs did you have? Did you keep track?
Yeah, I'm old school. We pancakes a last resort.
Wagner starting to heat up for Clemson. 8 kills, that's a match best.
They're almost more for show than, if it's your only way of touching the ball, you want to go for it. But ideally, you're getting there,
Yeah,
getting
you
a
are
play.
right.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to have to make a Superman dive every time.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna celebrate that kill. A little bit like out of system, but somehow Ewing was able to do a cross-body kill. I don't know, that was almost like acrobatics on that.
Ewing out of Fort Collins, Colorado. A San Francisco transfer.
Good pass.
But the defense wins again. 7 blocks tonight for the Seminoles.
The blocking for the Seminoles has been amazing. And not only their blocking, but their block coverage. So when the Tigers are getting a block against the Seminoles, there's someone on defense always there to cover the hitter.
Clemson looking for the spark. Wagner says, I'm that spark. 9 kills tonight for her.
And that was a really smart hit by Wagner because the Seminoles have started to kind of camp out on her line, which is her favorite shot. So for her to go cross-court hard, that's mixing it up, and that's going to keep the Seminoles on their toes.
Luma's serving, coming off the season high 11 digs in the last game. Mawa, boy, she just moves all over the floor and continues to make plays.
The Seminoles are having fun, they're laughing. That was a play, again, as a fan of volleyball, for Hinkie to be really a 6'4" dominant offensive player. She started that play with a beautiful pass, and then the former libero to get the kill. They're just having a great time tonight.
Off of Hinkie, but the point is going to go to Florida State. Looks like McGrath either went under the nets, touched the nets, one way or the other, the point goes to the Seminoles.
And Coach Keir is on her feet, wanting to know what the call was, in case she should challenge it.
She's out on the floor right now. And depending on what she's told, we might have the first challenge tonight for Clemson.
Looks like maybe she just called a timeout. Yeah, she did. Okay, so they called McGrath in the net, and you can see there she goes in the net underneath, and that's actually almost a safety thing. So it was the right call.
Yeah, she just lost her footing and crashed into the net there. So point Florida State. This is their biggest lead tonight. Well, at the top of the broadcast, we touched on Henke for Florida State, and no surprise here, she's got a team-leading 8 kills tonight.
And no wonder she can get a kill from anywhere, because throughout her career, she's played right side, middle blocker, but tonight she is just delivering from the left side, hitting cross court. Here she is being smart, using the block. Again, 6'4", and also extremely good on defense and passing, which you don't always see the taller players being able to play all around.
She's been great tonight for Florida State and for Clemson. Kennedy Wagner, Coach Keir told us she's got the biggest arm on the team, and she has shown it off tonight.
The biggest arm and a huge vertical jump. She is one of those players that can turn the match around with her spark and her fire. And she brings it from the left side, from the right side. So I do think Coach Keir is probably saying, all right, Kennedy, this is where we need you to get back in this match.
9 kills, a match high. Wagner from Valparaiso, Indiana. You know, Coach Keir told us she worked a ton in the offseason with assistant coach Mo McKinney, who's back at Clemson, by the way. She was a fantastic player for Clemson, and that duo has been a really excellent reason why Clemson has been off to a great start this season, and now the Tigers get a point coming out of the timeout.
And again, beautiful in-system pass. It's all starting with the passing for the Tigers. So they're going to look for those more often. I'm sure that is a big part of what they're talking about in their timeouts.
What can Clemson do to make a run and make noise in set 2?
So it starts here with the serve. We have got to get the Seminoles out of system. The Clemson Tigers have got to get the Seminoles out of system. And if they can do that by serving aggressively, then they can go on a run and get those 3 or 4 points at a time.
Feely Mawa again, 8 kills. Tying her with Henke to lead Florida State tonight. This is Nicholson serving. Coming off a double-double against Georgia Southern. Too much on that one. 3rd serving error tonight.
All right, so the Tigers here, they're down by 7. We're playing to 25 in the second set. This is really a crucial point. You don't want to go into the timeout, the break, the halftime, if you will, being down 2 sets.
Feely Mawa tried a roll shot, couldn't quite get it over. And Florida State's on the outside. That's Mason. Mason has flashed tonight. She's up to 4 kills.
Ifiliamo on that play, you may not know it unless you're an advanced volleyball player, but what she did there was so smart. She kind of knew she wouldn't be able to get a kill, so she tipped the ball into the Clemson blocker's hands and brought it back to her side to reset and try again.
McGrath down the line. Florida State sets up Henke again. McGrath digs it out. Hanson towards the corner. Henke. Roll shot, floats it in. Her big night continues, 9 kills.
Henke's just got to be one of those players that gets better and better with every match she plays because, again, we're seeing her passing well. We're seeing her getting the big kills from all places of the court, all around the court. And then here she is showing some experience and smarts by just doing a little roll shot.
Again, and that's a Division II transfer. Another point here for Florida State.
So we're playing to 25. The Seminoles have all the momentum right now.
It's a double-digit lead, largest tonight at any point. McGrath. Another opportunity for McGrath. campaigning it was touch of the nets. It wasn't. It's a 4-0 run for Florida State. Set point for the Seminoles.
They're doing their chop.
Tricky pass to McGrath, couldn't get a lot on it. Here's Hinke trying to claim set 2. She's got it. Florida State closes on a 5-0 run.
Changer.
Even Feely Mallow is having a good time. A big smile on her face. And maybe the student section got a point there for Clemson to begin set 3.
I say we give them that one. There's the Clemson Tiger Cub.
Packed house tonight for this ACC opener. Hinke evens things up in one apiece. Her big night continues. 11 kills, a match best.
And we could have pointed out the Clemson Tigers, their upcoming schedule, they're actually playing 5 straight ranked opponents. So they have a really tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, it's a brutal stretch coming up for Clemson. Hinke. Gildon digs it out from the back row. Hangs on the top of the tape. On the outside, here's Wagner. Yamamoto to Hinke. Hinke, almost automatic tonight, 12 kills.
She is having a phenomenal match. And again, it's not just an offense, which is where we're seeing most of it, but really she's playing all around and her passing. And you can tell the Tigers are going after her with their serves, but she is handling them and keeping the Seminoles in system.
Here's a slide attack. And it works for Clemson. First time that they've been able to execute that tonight. And it's Simonton in for the first time. The junior out of Minnesota did not play in the first 2 sets.
Oh, so they're changing it up in the middle. That's a good call. Simonton has like very positive energy. She's like a fun player. And so now they're bringing her in to see if she can deliver on the offense.
Long pass to Hinke. Goes right at the block and the defense wins. That's Herta, also in for the first time tonight.
Yeah, good point. And look at them getting the first block for the Clemson Tigers. That's incredible.
That's a giant orange wall. Herta's 6'1". Singleton is 6'4". Florida State in scramble mode.
So here's a free ball opportunity. We talked about this earlier.
In the middle. Florida State again in scramble mode. And Clemson, the 2 new faces on the floor making plays for the Tigers.
Absolutely. They're having fun. They're bringing smiles. These are both experienced players. They've had some injuries in their career, which might be why they're coming off the bench right now, but their experience is definitely showing.
Long pass to Hinke. 2 blocks in a row for Clemson.
And look at that celebration. This is exactly what the Clemson Tigers need if they're going to win this match.
They did not have a single block.
A crucial serve after a timeout.
Look at the Seminoles want to go to. Here's Mason. Wagner calling for it. She's got it. Yamamoto digs it out. Hinke. Clemson can't get it over. Boy, when Florida State needs an answer, they go to Hinke. 13 kills.
I mean, right now it's difficult to stop her. She's hitting very high, and she's also every once in a while throwing in that off-speed changeup where it's a roll shot to the middle of the court, so it's making it very difficult to defend her.
Stevenson with a serve, targeted McGrath. Here's Wagner. What a shot!
Wow.
That's so hard to do.
I was going to say, if that ball is in, that is unbelievable. So this is an out-of-system play for the Clemson Tigers. So Wagner has to come from way outside the court, and only she can hit that ball, actually.
And that's what Coach Keir was telling us about. She worked in the offseason a lot, especially on her vision with Coach Mo. her first season on staff at Clemson as an assistant coach. And Florida State's with an answer. That's Ewing, her 7th kill.
So we're in the 3rd set, playing best of 5. The Clemson Tigers, this is a must-win situation for them.
Slide attack. Boy, what a set 3 for Simonton.
Yeah, she came in 2 blocks immediately. She's swinging big, but also what she does so well for the Tigers is just look how much fun she has, how much energy she brings to the team. She's the spark.
And now an ace for Clemson. The first ace tonight for either team.
And don't ask her to do that twice in a row, but when it happens and trickles off the net like that, the Clemson Tigers will definitely take it.
Point Clemson. That was Stevenson that got tied at the net.
And that's because the setter for the Seminoles is back row, so she hit the ball over trying to save it, but it was an easy point for the Tigers, all because of a tough serve from Gilden.
And there's Feely Mala. Stops the bleeding. That ends a 3-0 Clemson run.
So right now, the Tigers have the momentum, thanks to some key plays from their players off the bench, and they need to hold on to this and take this set.
Capilla back on the floor for the Seminoles. There she is, getting her hands on it. Clemson tries the other side. That shot's offline by Herta. Florida State inches closer.
So the Seminoles are strategically serving. Looks like they were trying to split it between 2 players, but it goes out of bounds, which again is exactly what the Tigers need if they're going to get back in the set. They need the Seminoles to make some errors that they haven't made in the first 2 sets. And then Clemson Tigers need to sharpen up their game, their passing, keep the ball in system.
That was Capilla with a swing. Capilla angles it towards the corner, put too much on it.
So this is what we're seeing from the Seminoles when Coach Poole was talking about some of their inexperience and their youth. They're making errors they did not make in the first 2 sets.
Green serving. Nice response by Whaling, but we're still going. What a sequence by the Tiger defense. Feely Mala with a swing. Sance. Boy, the defense has been sensational. Gilden with a couple of excellent digs here this rally. McGrath in the corner. Didn't get it, point Florida State.
And you know Clemson Tiger was trying to win that point because look at this unbelievable up by Gilden. With, no, it was number 12 with the foot dig on that one for Clemson Tigers. Claire Luma.
Whatever it takes, right? Nicholson serving. Another slide attack, that was Hansen. Feely Mala. Tough play at the net, long pass to McGrath, got it!
And that was an unbelievable set by Sant because that pass was a little tight, but it did allow the blocker to stay with Sant, and she was able to get the ball out to Mia McGrath, who got the kill.
Wagner back on the floor for Clemson. And a costly serving error, just the 3rd one tonight on Clemson.
And again, you don't mind the errors as long as they're balancing it out with the aces. But they have the momentum right now. That's just not the time when you want to make an error.
That was Hansen with a swing, and the defense, that matchup won by Capilla. 8 blocks tonight for Florida State.
Wow. They have really dominated when it comes to blocking in this match.
McGrath, long pass over to Wagner. Doesn't phase her. What a shot.
This is one thing that's really impressive about the Clemson Tigers pin hitters, Wagner and McGrath. They can be pretty far off the net. I mean, this is a way out of system set. For Wagner to be able to get a kill from 10 feet off the net, that's incredible.
In the middle, this is a couple times now. Capilla's tried to angle it on that portion of the floor, and she's missed.
Yeah, and you can tell she's a little frustrated with herself. I mean, she had a one-on-one opportunity there. She certainly wants to be able to put that ball down.
Simonton back on the floor, by the way, for Clemson. Capilla, that's 3 times in a row. That one was dug out by Rains. Wagner off of Yamamoto. Hinke back on the floor for Florida State. Rains there defensively. Here's Wagner. Was it touched at the nets? It wasn't. Point, Florida State.
We've seen some incredible defense from both teams in this match, keeping balls alive, extending the rallies, giving their players, their hitters, an extra opportunity to go for that point.
Ewing back in the game for the Seminoles. Wagner calling for it, receives it. Yamamoto digs it out. Hinke with a running start. Gildon digs it out. Wagner, boy, a lot of swings for her here. That's off the side of the block and down.
And she's doing exactly what the Tigers need her to do. At this point, the Tigers are down 2 sets. This is a must-win set for them. Wagner's going up big, finding the hands of the block, and she's doing what we call a tool.
She's got 12 kills tonight to lead Clemson, and that is the 2nd serving error in this frame for Clemson. And the Tigers, they are definitely targeting the libero, Yamamoto. They are trying to put her to work.
And Yamamoto's been playing fantastic tonight. She has had so many incredible digs.
She's got 12 to lead the Seminoles tonight.
Here's a good pass.
Simonton got it. Boy, what a set 3 for her.
And that wasn't the hardest hit. That was just one of those creative hits that gets
Still,
the job done.
Still goes down as a kill. She's got 3 kills on 4 swings tonight, all this set. Hinke.
A little tight. Let's see. Sant saves it again.
Just a tough play at the net there for McGrath. Much needed point for Florida State. McGrath down the line. 8 kills tonight for her, approaching a double-double.
Beautiful play by the Clemson Tigers. I believe Sant went down on her knees to set that.
Short serve. Yamamoto was there. Filiamawa.
Interesting, because it looked like the ball was out, but the ref is calling a touch. Let's see if the Tigers do challenge it.
Yeah, she went high hands there. Goes down as her 10th kill tonight.
Here we can see, so there was a touch called on that, and the Seminoles did get the point.
Slide attack starting to work for Clemson here. There's a kill for Hansen.
And this is what the Clemson Tigers have got to do. Their outside hitters are delivering, but they've got to get their middles going. So Simonton's come in, brought some energy, and now Hansen is also adding the kills.
There's Whalen gets stuffed on the outside. 4th block tonight for Clemson.
And all in this 3rd set. So it really has come down to blocking on which team is going to win the set. The Seminoles dominated in the first 2 sets when it came to blocking, and now the Clemson Tigers are showing up.
Mawa got it over. Just miscommunication that time for that Clemson defense.
Raines, the defensive player there, she was being nice and smiling at her middle blocker, but really what she wanted to say was, I was right there, I had it.
Right. Fresh face in for Florida State, the sophomore Sova enters.
She's had a couple service errors already tonight. That's a good serve, good pass.
McGrath just slices it through the teeth of the defense for the kill. Number 9 for her.
So there's an example of Mia McGrath hitting from the right side, which is not where she normally hits from. So the fact that she can get kills from both pins shows, again, her experience and leadership for the Clemson Tigers.
Here's a slide attack. What a job executed by Capilla.
Capilla had some amazing hang time on that. The block wasn't able to stay with her, so she really had the entire floor open for her.
From the back row, that's McGrath. Mawa digs it out. Hinke. Another kill for her, her match-leading 14th kill. And a serving error on Florida State. They're up to 6.
That was a break that the Tigers needed. Again, we're playing to 25. The Seminoles have won the first 2 sets. This is a must-win situation for the Tigers. Good serve.
Here's Hinke.
Unbelievable block coverage.
Goes back to it a second time. Free ball, Florida State. Capilla in the middle. Now Clemson on the attack. Here's Wagner. Got it.
And that's a fun play. That's a fun rally. Hansen actually had a really good dig, the middle blocker for the Tigers in that rally. Here's Wagner going up huge, finding the seam in the block. You can really see her vertical leap.
From the back row, Mawa got it off the top of the tape. Here's Wagner. Hinke digs it out, dumped over by Nicholson. Wagner again, off the side of the block and down. She's on fire right now.
So much of this match has actually come down to the defenders, and their names don't get said as much, but Raines during that rally, number 11 for the Tigers, she really had an awesome pickup to keep that ball going.
She's sitting at 14 kills. Her career high is 20. Hinke hammers it home for Florida State.
Wow, and you can see the speed of the offense from the Seminoles when they are in system. So quick. That is an outside pin set, and it looks like it could be set to a middle blocker.
Yamamoto serving. Sands, slide attack, Florida State, prepare that time.
That was a tough one for the Tigers. The only chance Simonton had on that one would be able to try to tool the block, but it was a little bit of a tight set, and the Seminoles' hands were all over it. I mean, that's an extremely tall block, and Simonton really had nowhere to go.
9 blocks for the Seminoles tonight.
The Tigers are just 2 points away from winning this set.
Sands, boy, this is 3 times in a row for Simonton. Tapped it a little bit too long as Florida State inches closer. They get close enough where Coach Keir will utilize the time.
They want to get a point right here.
Sands to Wagner, ricochets right back to her. Now Clemson regroups, free ball Florida State. Seminoles on a 3-0 run. They go to Hinke down the line, and it's there.
So that is what the Tigers do not want to do. They do not want to give a free ball to a team that is so effective in their offense.
Wagner back on the outside. Her monster night continues. 15 kills to lead the Tigers. They got set point.
Good for her. She didn't go up and swing softly. Wagner went up and swung as hard as she could and got the kill.
Singing serving right into the net for the 5th serving error tonight. So Florida State hangs around.
So Florida State's having a sigh of relief with that missed serve, because that's a point for them. So really crucial that the Tigers right now have a good pass, run their offense, get a kill, go into the 4th set.
Stevenson serving. She's got 15 assists tonight. Clemson goes to Wagner for the win. Was it touched at the nets? It was, and the Tigers take it. We might have a review on this one. The Florida State bench and the coaching staff can't believe that was called a kill and a point for Clemson.
So Coach Poole's talking to his players right now. I don't know how much time he has to make this decision. He is challenging.
So again, since he won the challenge earlier, he's got 2. So, and this is a big one.
Yes.
Obviously, if it stands, Clemson takes set 3. If not, Florida State would cut the deficit to 2.
Florida State is challenging that there was no touch on the play.
So our second challenge tonight, and again, what the officials are looking at, different angles than what you are looking at right here.
So right now the call is that there was a touch on the block. So Wagner is so effective, Kennedy Wagner for the Tigers, at swinging high and off the hand. So this is what she's done all night long.
Boy, that went right through the hands. Who is that, Hinke? Or Ewing. I think it's Ewing for Florida State.
If it does go right through the hands, that's just unfortunate luck for Wagner.
It really
that's hard to do.
It really is.
So there was a touch call. So Coach Poole took a moment, spoke to his team, said, "Did you touch it?" They said no. He may have even said, "Did you touch it to a level that is going to show up on a replay?" And they said no. So use the challenge, and this is when you have to challenge, because
right.
If the play stands, the Tigers win the set. If the challenge is won, we're still playing in the 3rd set.
So another look on that last swing from Wagner. Zoomed in a little bit.
I mean, that is definitely threading a needle.
Yes, it is. So do you see the ball change directions or a finger moves?
And it has to be to overturn the call. Is tough to do. So right now, definitely no fingers. The only chance is that ball hit the arms of Ewing, I believe, is the middle blocker on that play. And that's really difficult to tell in video, especially from the angles we are seeing.
And again, a big challenge. If it stands, Clemson wins set 3. If it's overturned, Florida State cuts the deficit to 2, and he must win by 2.
And it's a momentum shift. Right now, the Tigers have the energy. They think they've won the set. And if the Seminoles do win this point, that's a big momentum shift.
Everybody inside this packed building waiting for the results. Looks like we're getting closer to the outcome, and here we go.
After review, the call stands.
Wow, it stands. So Florida State has one challenge the rest of the way. Clemson wins set 3.
Pumping it up.
Yeah, life is good in the student section tonight. Tough pass to Mason, and Mason off to a hot start to begin set 4.
I imagine this set's going to be a lot of back and forth. I think both teams have kind of figured out some of their kinks, and now they know their game plan, and I think it's going to be a really tight set.
Here's Wagner, picks up right where she left off.
And right now you can see the Seminoles are starting to kind of camp out on Wagner's line because she's been so effective with that. So on that hit, she goes cross court, and that's what she needs to do to keep the Seminoles on their toes.
17 kills, a match best.
Oh my.
Miscommunication. So Clemson targeted Hinkie, and Hinkie stumbled.
Yes, so that was a really smart serve by the Tigers. And that there shows the inexperience that Coach Poole warned us may come out every once in a while.
Here's Hinkie, first swing and set for book it.
I'm really proud of the Seminoles on that play, actually. So they came back after an error and ran the same play, and this time ran it effectively for the point.
Yeah, it speaks volumes of the maturity and the growth that they have had throughout the course of the season. Again, 14 newcomers, the most since Chris Poole has been the head coach of Florida State, now in his 18th season. Wagner, dug out by Yamamoto. Hinkie, off the set of the block and down. 18 kills tonight for her.
And it looks like Symington is grabbing her knee a little bit. I hope she's not hurt. She wears that big brace on her right knee.
She provided a spark in set 3. Wagner.
Unbelievable, one-handed dig.
That's Philly Mala. In the corner, Hinkie misses, point Clemson.
So this is the back and forth that we were expecting from this set.
Saints serving. One of 3 captains on the roster for Clemson. Here's Hinkie.
Nice dig.
Pushed over. Nicholson angles it in the corner. Gildon was there. Wagner cuts it loose. 18 kills tonight for Wagner.
Great hit by Wagner, great set by Sant, and it all starts with a dig from Gildon.
Sant, the setter of the week 9 days ago. Hinkie, Gildon again with a dig. Wagner. Whalen was there for Florida State. Stevenson in the middle. Gildon got her fingers on it. Wagner. Here come the Seminoles. Hinkie with a roll shot. Sant there defensively. Down the line, and it was touched. Point Clemson.
Unbelievable plays from both teams, but I do feel like the Tigers deserve to win that point just for some unbelievable defense. So good job by Herta putting it down on the right side.
Whalen. McGrath trying to dig it out. That's a big point for Whaling in Florida State. That's her 4th kill tonight. And touched on it a moment ago. 14 total newcomers, the most under Coach Poole. And a large chunk of that, the freshmen.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple plays where as the team grows and gets more experience together, those miscommunications won't happen. But we've seen just a couple of them tonight, not enough to affect the match, but certainly plays that a coach would prefer doesn't happen.
From the back row, Hinkie right into the net.
And there's an example too. I mean, you wouldn't be able to exactly tell it when you're watching, but that set was just a little bit low for how tall Hinkie is and how long her reach is. So the setter at number 4, as she gets more used to Hinkie, she'll be able to set that just a little higher.
Free ball, Clemson, and they cash in. Who else? Symington.
And again, the kill doesn't always have to be a big bouncing, 10-foot line smack. Sometimes it's just being smart and creative. And here you go. Here's an example of Symington doing just that.
Wagner with a bullet serve. Still going, Florida State. Flips it across, free ball, Clemson.
The block coverage on that was insane.
And Wagner racks up another kill. She's in double digits now with 10.
Good job by the Tigers. Because that first block, again, should have hit the ground. The Seminoles just don't let anything hit the ground when it comes to block coverage.
Timeout, Florida State. Clemson on the roll right now. Tigers on a 3-0 run.
Learned into practice.
And coming out of the timeout, an error, serving error on Clemson. 6 tonight. For you, was there a moment when things just started to click and you really felt comfortable on the floor?
Well, I think for me, you know, I started as my freshman year in the Big Ten at Wisconsin, and I remember, you know, the seniors on the team really helped me. If I didn't have that leadership, I probably would have been a mess. So, you know, then when I became a junior and senior, then it was my job to lead the team. But it's why it's so crucial to have that upperclassman on your team.
An ace, a rare ace tonight. That's the first for Florida State. 5th of the season for Russ. There's a tough pass, and Florida State called the timeout, and boy, the Seminoles are on the roll. 3-0 run.
And Russ is brought in specifically for her serve and defense, but she has a really effective serve. You can tell she's able to guide it. It's a float serve. It has a lot of movement on it. It's difficult to receive.
Simonton, Florida State couldn't quite get it over. That's a much-needed point for Clemson.
I can tell you one thing Florida State must do in their practices. They are so good at block coverage. Even there, the player covered herself coming down. It was called as a lift, but she disagreed.
Yeah, Coach Poole told us, you know, there'll be a point in a game where he'll turn around and talk to his assistant coaches. Hey, make a note of this. Let's work on this in practice. Again, with 14 newcomers, you gotta work on different situations and scenarios.
And right now, the Seminoles, this is a really effective front line for them. 3 of their best hitters in the front row.
Here's Lily Nicholson serving. Long pass to McGrath. It's Mason on the outside. McGrath again off the top of the tape, but it lands out of bounds. Point Florida State. The Seminoles have tied it.
And the Seminoles run a 6-2, which means they always have 3 hitters in their front row, and their setter comes from the back row.
Did you have a preference when you played?
Not a preference. We did do a 6-2 for a little bit. Actually, one of our most effective years. But in rally, you don't see it quite as much. But the reason it's amazing is because you have 3 hitters at all times. And usually a setter can be a shorter player on the team.
And right now, the Seminoles have taken the momentum.
So it's tough serve from the Seminoles is going to be crucial. And then a good pass from the Tigers, which we have both.
Kapia in the middle. Excellent job by her. It's now a 4-0 run for Florida State. The lead is now 2.
And Kapia had a couple errors, you know, earlier in the 3rd set. So now she's being a little smarter. She's realizing she doesn't have to crush the ball every single time she goes up.
Florida State is making this run with Henke off the floor right now. McGrath right back to her. Gilladon tracks it down. McGrath flips it across. Free ball, Florida State. They go to Mason, the freshman on the outside.
Yeah, she is so difficult to defend with that left-handed swing, and she just brings it. Her timing also makes it difficult for blocks to stay with her because she's got that nice natural vertical.
One of those 9 freshmen that Chris Poole and his staff brought in. It's the most freshmen that he's had on the roster.
So Nicholson's having some good serves in a row right now. Let's see what the call is here. Coach Keir is not happy about that.
It was Hanson. Either a lift or she touched the net, but one way or the other, Florida State is on a 6-0 run, and They have taken a 4-point lead.
And Nicholson missed a couple serves earlier on, so she's really serving effective right now.
Nice dig by Nicholson on the back row. Feely Maua, they want to get her going in this fourth set. Here's McGrath. Yamamoto, back to Feely Maua, crushes it.
Feely Maua, what a fun name to say and what a fun player to watch. Again, she started her career as a defensive libero specialist, and now she is bringing it on the offense.
Biggest run tonight for either team.
So the Tigers have got to stop the momentum from the Seminoles right now.
That was a tough pass, played across. Yamamoto, back to Feely Maua. Not that time, the defense wins that matchup. Here's Hansen.
Great block by the Clemson Tigers there, specifically Hansen, the middle blocker. She's able to read the hit, time the hit well, get her hands on the ball, and direct it to the floor.
This is Rain serving. Pia, her big night continues.
And
Just
that's
so efficient.
that was an awesome connection between the setter and the middle blocker there. So that was not an in-system pass in any way, shape, or form. The setter, Nicholson's off the net there, but Kapia is ready, which is what the setter needs from your middle blocker. Be up in the air. Let me get you this ball.
That was a tough serve from Feely Maua. Mason just loops it across. McGrath right back to her. McGrath again. Pia taking over for the Seminoles in the fourth set.
Wow, is she having a good night.
Seven kills on 15 swings.
Yeah, she's hitting over 300, only 2 errors. So a lot of us just went overseas to play.
And now the sport, it's growing a lot. There are now 3 professional leagues in America.
Nice.
There's McGrath coming out of the timeout.
And how crucial is that for the Tigers? So they ran McGrath on a slide behind the setter. Again, that just shows some of the creativity. McGrath is not the tallest player on the court. She's not 6'4". So for her to be able to move around and make the blockers move is really exceptional.
Mason has been excellent tonight for Florida State. The freshman continues to make plays.
Yeah, she's just having a great time, smiling. This is every match she's playing is just giving her more experience. So the Tigers, every single time, they're fighting for the side out. So this is another one of those situations where they must get the first side out.
Here's Wagner.
Good call. Go to their star outside hitter right now, Kennedy Wagner.
19 kills tonight for Wagner, 1 away from matching her career high.
So an ace right now would really help the Tigers. Let's see if Hansen can do it. It's a good serve.
Hansen to Wagner. Had to slow down a little bit. On the back row, Feely Maua dug out by Hansen.
Gotta love the dig by the middle blocker.
Feely Maua again with a dig. And the point goes to Florida State. What a play by Ewing.
It's good to see both teams having fun. Again, season opener, ACC conference. Oh, wow. That was just middle blocker to middle blocker. That was kind of like a pride competition there.
That Ewing ended up winning 8 kills tonight for Ewing, by the way. Slide attack. Simonton says, all right, I can get a kill too.
Exactly. She comes right back and says, all right, I'll accept your challenge. So here she is running a slide off one leg, finding the seam in the block, getting the kill. This is a good rotation for the Clemson Tigers. Their setter stance in the back row. Means 3 hitters up front.
Wagner directly into the net that time. 6-point lead for the Seminoles.
Yeah, Wagner was kind of not happy with herself on that hit because she's been so effective when she swings high off the blocker's hands. Look at the student section. So that time she tried to go low and was in the net.
Wagner, next skill matches her career high. Bailey Mawa with a bullet.
Great dig. Can the Tigers take advantage of it? Nice.
Here's Wagner. Yamamoto digs it out from the back row. Hinke put it in that donut area for the kill.
All right, so we're playing to 25. So the Tigers do not have many opportunities left for them to make any errors. So they have to be extremely efficient with their playing.
Hinke. That last kill, by the way, matches her season high 19 kills.
Wow.
She also did it against Auburn.
We are lucky to witness this. She has had a phenomenal match.
Wagner switches sides. She has a career high.
Great play by Kennedy Wagner. The Seminoles targeted her with their serve, so she had to pass and get ready to hit and do it from the right side.
Clemson pulls to within 6. Bailey Mawa calling for it, receives it. McGrath taps it over. From the back row, Hinke. McGrath. Bailey Mawa unloads for the kill. Wow.
Wow is right. She's just so quick with her swing. So she's athletic all around, but she has a phenomenal arm swing. So she's able to generate so much power.
Double-double for the second game in a row for Bailey Mawa. Kapia back in the game for the Seminoles.
And she has proven to be a very effective server so far tonight. So the Tigers do not want to let her have a second opportunity to serve.
Free ball, Seminoles. Stevenson on the outside to Whaling. Did she touch the net? She did. Point Clemson.
So the Tigers are going to have to dig down, dig deep. Everything that they've learned in the preseason, going undefeated, they need to bring everything they have right now.
Bailey Mawa towards the corner, count it.
She is what we call a crafty player. So she's demonstrated that she can smash the ball across court, but there she actually takes some speed off the ball and just places it very strategically in the corner.
Boy, McGrath had a running start. She wasn't going to miss that opportunity.
The Tigers are still alive, fighting every last point of this match. Raines is hoping to give them a few points right here.
Bailey Mawa cashes in again. 17 kills tonight.
I mean, she has 2 huge blockers in her face when she's hitting. You can see here is a replay. She doesn't even act like it. She's like, I'll just find the seam. I'll crush this ball. Good serve.
McGrath. She is deadly when she gets a running start like that.
Yeah, she loves the ball a little bit off the net, it looks like. She just has more room. She can really guide the ball. So when she's tight, it's very hard for her because she has the blockers in her face. But when she's off the net, she can make things happen. Oh, that was almost good for the Tigers. Nice dig.
Long pass over to Wagner, just flips it over.
She should have gone up and crushed that ball, but she didn't know. No blocks on it.
Here's Wagner again.
There she
That's
goes.
a new career high in kills, 21.
That's what the Tigers need from Kennedy Wagner at this point in the match. She cannot off, but she also cannot miss. It's a pressure situation.
Capilla in the middle has been incredible tonight.
So the Seminoles now are 1 point away from winning the match. It's going to be tough for the Tigers because it's rally scoring in volleyball. That means every single play results in a point.
Match point, Florida State looking for their 4th victory in a row.
Nice pass.
Wagner, 22 kills, adding to her career performance.
Wagner's not ready to go home yet. This starts with an awesome pass by the Clemson Tigers. Great setup. Wagner's one-on-one opportunity, and again, she brings it. What a dynamic player.
Florida State goes to the freshman. Mason denied by Wagner. Says, I can play defense too.
Should we be giving Wagner some sort of MVP award right now? Not only is she bringing it with the kills, but that was an awesome block.
Mansing serving. Going to Hinkie for the win. You better believe it. Florida State wins on the road to begin ACC play, winning in 4 sets.